Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the Caiden Cowger program, broadcasting from West Virginia. It is great to have you with us. So, guys, here's the thing. Donald Trump is just absolutely getting hammered by the GOP. I mean, he is just absolutely getting nailed left and right. The liberals hate him. The establishment Republicans despise him. And libertarians are not liking him that have been so outspoken in the GOP here recently. And we have Donald Trump getting attacked recently by the National Review. And National Review is supposed to be a conservative Bible, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, National Review is, I believe, even after Ronald Reagan when he was running. So this is just basically toilet paper now. And, you know, it's really sad to see because when you really get down to it, William F. Buckley is the one who created the National Review. And he was recognized as being this huge conservative. Rush Limbaugh was friends with him. We have the National Review that now sort of criticizes Rush Limbaugh going after Donald Trump when William F. Buckley liked Donald Trump. It's really just absolutely pathetic. But you had several conservatives, or I shouldn't say conservatives because they're really not, but you had several conservative wannabes that signed on to this list, including Glenn Beck and Dana Lash and those frauds. And they were all saying, hey, you know, we're all against Trump. That was the title of this New York Times hit piece. It was against Trump. And I was listening to Matt Schlapp. He's the chairman of the American Conservative Union on Fox News. And I even sent him a message actually thanking him for what he said because it was right on. He said it doesn't matter who the Republican nominee is going to be, all right? We have to get behind him. We have to support him. And from where I'm at, folks, Donald Trump could very well be the Republican nominee for the presidency in 2016. And I personally think that is what's going to happen. I think Donald Trump is going to be the nominee, and I also think he's going to be our next president. That's just me. That's by my years of observations and what I personally feel is going to happen. I mean, you have 20% of Democrats that are supporting Donald Trump. We've never experienced that with a Republican before, okay, other than Ronald Reagan. So this is very, very big. This is huge, as he would say, okay? Now, here's the thing. In this National Review hit piece, you have them that's going after Trump. One of the people that was in that hit piece actually was Glenn Beck. And Glenn Beck, over the weekend, this was on Saturday, traveled to Iowa to campaign with Ted Cruz. And of all the nuts that Ted Cruz could accept an endorsement from, he decided to go with Glenn Beck. I mean, Glenn Beck, let me tell you what this guy, this absolute imbecile, said when he was in Iowa over the weekend, all right? He was in Iowa, and this is what Beck said. Beck said that he would rather support Bernie Sanders, a socialist, than support Donald Trump, who's a capitalist. So I guess if it comes down to Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, Glenn Beck is going to support Bernie Sanders. It's absolutely pathetic, completely sick. According to The Hill, which is a political publication that's out there, Glenn Beck absolutely criticized Donald Trump and said that honesty, faith, and truth are basic requirements. And quite honestly, I have to tell you, this probably isn't going to go over very well. That's why I like Bernie Sanders. Glenn Beck likes Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is like, yep, I'm a socialist. I can actually sit at a table with a man who says, yes, I am a socialist, and yes, I don't like what we are doing. We should be more like Denmark, Beck stated on Saturday. He went on to discuss the valuable ideologies of constitutionalism and socialism, saying that what we really need in America is enough of these politicians who are telling us what we want to hear, hiding behind fancy language, and actually have a debate between a constitutionalist like Ted Cruz and a socialist like Bernie Sanders. So Glenn Beck believes that socialism should be, I guess, promoted the same as constitutionalism. and we can actually have a debate about constitutionalism and socialism? Because, guys, I'm going to tell you something right now. Socialism is an absolute pathetic ideology. It's where the government comes in and controls everything. You're going to have respect for that? Seriously? But you're not going to have respect for someone like Donald Trump? And according to The Hill, that's what he said. He said he would prefer Bernie Sanders over Donald Trump. It's really just absolutely pathetic. And, you know, speaking about honesty and truth, Beck, on Saturday, January 17th, it was Sunday, January 17th, 2016, Beck falsely claimed that Donald Trump sent out a tweet congratulating Obama for winning the election and allegedly told Obama that he always votes for winners. So in other words, he voted for Obama in 2012. And that's when the date on the tweet was, 2012. And it ended up being exposed by us at Cowger Nation. We looked into it, and we revealed that the tweet was completely fake. It was missing a verification badge. It is on all the Twitter embedded screenshots, or whatever you want to call it. All the screenshots, it didn't have a verified badge on it that every personality out there has. I believe Twitter added that verification badge like in 2010 or 2011, somewhere around there. But anyway, the verification badges were already on the embedded tweets back during that time. So there was your first indication that was fake. And the other indication was that they used Times New Romans. On the fake tweet, it had Times New Romans. Now, Twitter, their official font is Helvetia. So, I mean, it was just a completely fraudulent tweet, and Beck was sending this out there to his followers, telling them, don't vote for Trump, he voted for Obama, see, here's the proof. And he created this fake tweet. It was so obvious it was a fake tweet. He's just as bad as C.J. Pearson. All right, the guy's a fraud. Glenn Beck, he's a dope. And, you know, I have to say, a lot of his followers, because there are people who like Beck that listen to this show, and they get upset when I talk about him. But, you know, the guy is just an absolute fraud. He's a moron on top of it. He's crazy. I used to like Beck. I used to follow Beck all the time. Then I ended up, you know, getting away from it when I started realizing what he was doing. The guy's as nutty as Jim Jones. I would not be surprised if if Donald Trump became president. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised if there was an article that came out from Breitbart or somewhere, or even from my organization, of where we have an audio clip of Glenn Beck telling his audience to commit suicide because Donald Trump became president. It really would not surprise me. That guy is just an absolute nut. And the people that listen to Beck all the time, that follow Beck, it's like they are obsessed with the guy. They're bots. It's like they can't even think for themselves, because this guy says so much outrageous stuff. I have absolutely no idea how anyone can call themselves fans of his. I want you to listen to this audio bit that we have here of Glenn Beck talking about the 9/11 victims' families. And he said, this is back in 2005 on September 9th. This was on the Glenn Beck radio show. Glenn Beck said that he hates 9/11 victims' families. It took him about a year to start hating them. Go ahead and listen to this.
Let me be real honest with you. And I don't think anybody on talk radio, I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to ever say this out loud. But I wonder if I'm the only one that feels this way. You know, it took me about a year to start hating the 9/11 victims' families. It took me about a year. And I had such compassion for them, and I really, I wanted to help them, and I was behind, let's give them money, let's get started, all of this stuff. And I really didn't, all the 3,000 victims' families, I don't hate all of them. I hate probably about 10 of them. But when I see, 9/11 victim family, on television or whatever, I'm just like, oh, shut up. I'm so sick of them because they're always complaining, and we did our best for them. And again, it's only about 10.
Oh, okay.
But the second thought that I had when I saw these people and they had to shut down the Astrodome and lock it down, I thought, I didn't think I could hate victims faster than the 9/11 victims. These guys, when you see, and it's really sad, we're not hearing anything about Mississippi. We're not hearing anything about Alabama. We're hearing about the victims in New Orleans. This is a 90,000 square mile disaster site, New Orleans is 181 square miles. 108.2% of the disaster area is New Orleans. And that's all we're hearing about are the people in New Orleans. Those are the only ones that we're seeing on television are the scumbags. Again, and it's not all of the people in New Orleans. Most of the people in New Orleans got out. It's just a small percentage of those who were left in New Orleans or who decided to stay in New Orleans, and they're getting all of the attention. It's exactly like the 9/11 victims' families. There's about 10 of them that are spoiling it for everybody.
So that was Glenn Beck. I tell you, guys, it's just so absolutely sick. It really is. The guy is a complete lunatic. And there was someone who made a comment, because we posted this on Cowger Nation, and there was someone who made a comment, holding an 11-year grudge, Beck is not the same man he was. All right, that is a very important point that I want to make here, because they're trying to say, oh yeah, Glenn Beck evolved, he's not the same guy he was. Well, Donald Trump used to be pro-choice back in the 1990s, all right? Well, guess what? Now we are in 2016. Since Donald Trump's position shifted, because he was still liberal in 2000, it's been about 16 years, 15, 16 years, since Donald Trump has been a liberal. And over that period of time, you have seen, if you've been paying attention and keeping up with Trump, you have seen him transition from being a fairly moderate liberal at the time to being a conservative. He has transitioned. If you look up the clips, you look up the articles, you look up the stories, you look up his ideology, the transition that took place from the 1990s to today, it's very obvious that Donald Trump holds conservative views. And you have the Cruz campaign, and you have Glenn Beck that are saying, oh yeah, Trump was pro-choice, he was all this stuff. Well, if Glenn Beck can evolve, and all of his little crazed supporters are saying, yeah, he's not the same man he was, why can't they say the same thing about Trump? You want me to tell you why? It's because they are so brainwashed by Glenn Beck, so brainwashed by people, rather than clinging to an ideology, rather than thinking for themselves, they think from these absolute morons that are out there. And as a result, they just completely bash anybody that these people deem not to be conservative because they personally dislike them. And Glenn Beck has been trying to get Donald Trump on his show for quite some time. Because when Beck originally attacked Donald Trump, the first time he attacked him, I heard about it. I watched the clip. Someone sent it to me. I watched where Glenn Beck criticized Donald Trump. You know his reason for criticizing Trump? He said that he tried to get Donald Trump on his show and Donald Trump refused. And then from that point on, from where he mentioned that, it's just been a consistent attack against Donald Trump. So, I mean, guys, Beck has went from the extent of claiming that falsely claiming, this is slander, okay? He has claimed that Donald Trump's wife is a homosexual porn star, was a lesbian porn star. And I apologize, very sensitive stuff that Beck has said about Trump. He called his wife, called Donald Trump's mother a female dog, to put it lightly. He claimed that Donald Trump supported Obama in 2008 and 2009, when that's absolutely false. Donald Trump held fundraisers for McCain. He also publicly endorsed John McCain multiple times, one on Larry King Live and another on another CNN show. And then he even invited Mitt Romney to his hotel there in Las Vegas, Nevada, and endorsed him publicly there. So Glenn Beck is just completely spreading these absolute lies about Donald Trump. And then on top of it, Ted Cruz is lying too. Ted Cruz, his campaign, has said that Donald Trump supported gay marriage, when we go all the way back to when Trump was a moderate liberal in 2000, somewhere around 2000, I think it was 2000, yeah, when he was in this interview. He even said in that interview that he opposed same-sex marriage. He's always opposed same-sex marriage. And if you remember in 2009, when Miss California was being threatened to be kicked out of the Miss America pageant for her views in support of traditional marriage in opposition to same-sex marriage, Donald Trump supported her and said, no, she's going to stay in my pageant. I hold the same views as her. I support traditional marriage. Always have, always will. That's the way that I was raised. That's the way it is. So, pathetic.
Fighting liberalism one lie at a time. Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
JP Morgan is now holding a record 55 million ounces of silver. Goldman Sachs and HSBC recently purchased 7.1 tons of physical gold. What do these bankers and mega money managers know that you don't? They're expecting another financial crisis, and over time, they're expecting the value of gold and silver to increase. Silver is trading below its production costs and is predicted to double by 2020. That's why you need our friends at Capital Gold Group. Capital Gold Group offers gold and silver for direct delivery and will not be undersold. If you find a better rate, they will easily match it just for you. Plus, their specialty is precious metals IRA rollovers for the ultimate in IRA security. Be one of the first 20 callers today to receive their free definitive gold guide, plus their exclusive A Sterling Time to Be Buying Silver report. They have an A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau, so call the experts at Capital Gold Group now and see what investing in gold and silver can do for you. Call now. Call 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. That is 1-800-932-4108. Once again, that is 1-800-932-4108.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Paraswabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Paraswabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Paraswabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. 9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Paraswabs. Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Paraswabs treatment. Paraswabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. 4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. Great to have you with us. You know, I've got to say that Ted Cruz was talking about how New York values do not compare to the rest of America's values. Well, I think it's pretty apparent, considering that Glenn Beck hates the 9/11 victims' families, that he's not too fond of New York values either. So, I mean, could that explain why Ted Cruz loves Glenn Beck so much and why he proudly accepted his endorsement? Because, guys, I want to remind you of something. Ted Cruz, because I haven't said anything about Ted Cruz because I really do like Ted Cruz, all right? I think eventually he would make a great president. However, I do think the guy is extremely naive. And the reason why I say that is because he has people who work for his campaign who have completely made a mess of it. I mean, it's just horrible people that he associates himself with, and I've seen this multiple times, and Cruz has a lot of growing up to do. And it's really just frustrating to see some of the stuff that Cruz, or some of the people that Cruz brings onto his campaign and who he associates himself with. But, you know, one thing they have to look at is that if someone keeps associating themselves with the same types of people, it's probably because they're that way themselves. And, you know, one that really put up a red flag for me with Ted Cruz, because it has happened before. People have always praised Cruz as being a conservative. He is probably one of the most conservative senators that we have presently. Well, I take that back. We have the guy from Alabama. I forget what his name is. I can't remember. But anyway, we have a lot of conservatives, or a few conservatives that are in the Senate right there. Ted Cruz is one of them. But one of the things that I want to remind you guys about, because there's this ad that's going around that Donald Trump put out there where Ted Cruz was in support of amnesty, pro-amnesty, all right? And a lot of Cruz supporters are saying, no, Cruz was never in support of amnesty, never been in support of that. Well, let me tell you this, guys. How many of you remember Glenn Beck supporting amnesty? How many of you remember Glenn Beck passing out toys and stuff to the illegal immigrant children that were down at the border, basically giving illegal immigrants the will to come here? Look, you're going to get rewarded with toys. Send your children. Because that's exactly what happened. Well, anyway, Glenn Beck went down to the border, bashed conservatives, saying that he was going to be absolutely hammered by conservatives for passing out toys to illegal immigrant children, basically, rather than wanting them to go home. Oh, yeah, we just got to take care of them all here. Okay, here's the thing. All right, if you start passing out toys and stuff to these children that are coming across the border illegally, guess what's going to happen? The people in Mexico that are sending their children are going to hear about all the toys and all the wonderful stuff that is happening to their children there in the United States. And they're going to send more and more and more and more of their children. There are thousands of these kids that are down at the border. We don't need them to come across the border illegally. Many of them die, I assume. It's a very dangerous journey that goes through there. You have Mexican drug cartels. On top of that, you have everything that comes along with the desert. They don't need to be taking that dangerous trip. But when you make them think that it's all worth it, then guess what? You're basically encouraging more of them to come across the border illegally. And on top of that, guess who else went down there with Glenn Beck after he bashed conservatives, calling us heartless? Because that was one thing that Beck did do. He called us heartless. He said that we were basically cold-hearted. We didn't have any compassion, all that other garbage. Guess who went down there with Beck to pass out the toys and everything? That's right, Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz. And when Senator Cruz started going out there, palling around with Glenn Beck, it really was negative. I mean, everyone in the media is talking about how Sarah Palin's endorsement of Donald Trump has hurt Trump, which I don't think it has. If you really want a negative endorsement to talk about Glenn Beck's endorsement of Ted Cruz and how they're palling around together. Because here you have a guy that admits that he hates the families of 9/11, the victims of 9/11's families. It's really just sick. And, you know, Senator Cruz, I've got to tell you this. When you're already getting attacked for the whole New York values comment about how you don't like New York values and how everyone can't associate with New York values unless you're from New York. When you're already getting attacked for that statement, basically saying that you are anti-patriotic, because that's what Trump tried to say in so many words. He tied New York values to 9/11. And when you bashed New York values, you basically bashed the values of 9/11, the patriotism of 9/11 that took place in New York. That's what Trump said anyway. And I understand that didn't come out right, and you probably regret that statement now. And it was twisted. I understand. But what you have to understand is that it's not a good idea to pal around with a guy who has openly said that he hates the victims' families of 9/11 after you make a remark like that, because it really makes you look bad. I mean, I'm just saying this is just some advice on how the public views that. Because Glenn Beck, the guy's a nut. He has a history of being a nut. The guy even has a medical condition where he admits that he's a nut. So the thing that I really don't understand is why people still worship him. Why people still follow him. I mean, when a guy... Guys, I'm sorry, but when a guy comes out and he says that he is crazy, he admits that he's crazy and he has to go and seek mental help for it. When you look to that guy as a source for a reliable opinion, and you base your opinions upon that guy's opinions, and the guy is a self-proclaimed nutcase, what does that say about you? I mean, I'm serious. The guy's crazy. And people just still look, oh yeah, Glenn Beck, let's bring him on Fox News. O'Reilly even had to correct Glenn Beck's claim that Donald Trump used to be or voted for Obama. Because Glenn Beck went on air and lied and said that. And Bill O'Reilly, trying to hold a legitimate show on cable news, had to correct that, like the next following show. So it's really just absolutely pathetic what we're seeing happen to Trump here. And another thing that I want to read for you, this is from thechristianpost.com, our friends over there. Trump obviously is not all that familiar with the Bible. Tony Perkins said this. And Trump recently blamed Tony Perkins for the gaffe that he made there at Liberty University, referring to 2 Corinthians as being 2 Corinthians. So... here is what, this is what Donald Trump said, okay? Donald Trump said that when Tony Perkins met with him, Trump asked him for advice on what to do at Liberty University and what he should say, what scripture he should use. And Tony Perkins did this. He gave him a note. He wrote him on a slip of paper. He wrote down 2 Corinthians 3:17. That's what he said. 2 Corinthians 3:17. And Tony Perkins said that he's guilty as charged, that he did in fact write that down. 2 Corinthians 3:17. Now Trump said that when he wrote down 2 Corinthians 3:17, rather than putting the number 2, just automatically assuming that that Donald Trump will know that is actually means 2 Corinthians. This is what Tony Perkins did. He wrote down 2, T-W-O. He wrote it out the word 2 Corinthians 3:17 and gave that to Trump and said, here, read that. Now, guys, I'm sorry, but that is very, very disgusting in my opinion. And I like Tony Perkins. I met Tony Perkins. I met Ted Cruz. But when you are a Christian, see, here's the thing. When you're a Christian, you have different standards than everybody else. Your job is to be a witness for Christ, okay? You're not supposed to make people hate Christians. You're not supposed to make people hate Christianity and be an absolute jerk, okay? And when Tony Perkins wrote that down, TWO, 2 Corinthians 3:17, he knew that Trump would probably read that out.
Some say he's the next Rush Limbaugh.
I tell you, this kid's got 90% of Rush's venom with only 10% of the biomass.
Caiden Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
When you're ready to take the edge off a hectic day, I suggest you start with a little music from Franz Black.
I guess there's lots of ways to look at things that don't seem right.
No Worries has just been released on iTunes and Amazon.
It's gonna be alright.
You can find Franz Black and his music on his website, franzblack.com. F-R-A-N-Z black.com.
It's gonna be alright.
Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. 9762. Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas, they provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Power Swabs. Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Power Swabs treatment. Power Swabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. 4817. That is 1-800-678-4817.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caiden Cowger program. It's great to have you with us. And see, getting back to the Tony Perkins thing, this is what happened, and I'm going to just explain it from the top again. Donald Trump met with Tony Perkins and asked Tony Perkins what scripture he should use at Liberty University. Tony Perkins gave him the scripture, said he should use 2 Corinthians 3:17. And that verse talks about liberty. Okay? Well, Tony Perkins wrote out 2 Corinthians 3:17 as 2, T-W-O, Corinthians 3:17. Wrote it out. 2 Corinthians 3:17. And the reason why I believe that he did that, and Tony Perkins has even admitted that he's guilty as charged. The reason why I personally believe that he did that was because he wanted to make Donald Trump look bad. And he wanted to prove, see, this guy knows nothing about Christianity. And I have several friends that are in the radio industry, that are Christian talk radio hosts, that are bashing Trump, completely degrading him, attacking him, because he's not a devout Christian, because he's not a Christian, all right? Because I personally do not believe that Donald Trump is saved. However, I do believe that Donald Trump is searching for Christ. And I believe that now is a great opportunity that Christians in the talk radio industry could be taking to convert Trump over and win him to the Lord. And see, what you have to understand, and I want you to hear me out here for a minute, because I have a lot of my friends that are in the conservative talk radio industry, Christian talk radio industry, listen to my show. I want you to think about this. If Donald Trump happens to be listening to your program, what do you think he's going to say about, or what feeling do you think he's going to develop about Christianity if you're just belittling him, if you're just attacking him? Well, he's been married 3 times. Okay. Well, why don't you explain how that's wrong and how you can get past that, how you need to repent for that? I mean, for crying out loud, Ronald Reagan was married 2 times. I mean, are you going to say, oh, Ronald Reagan's this horrible person, he's condemned, he went to hell? See, our job is to witness to people, not to just completely condemn people, all right? Are we to judge others? Yes, we are. That's what the Bible says. The Bible says that we are to judge according to righteousness, not judge according to appearance. Well, guess what? When you are judging other people, you're supposed to do it in a not condemning way, but in a way that reaches their hearts and shows them the love of Jesus Christ. Now, what they should be doing, because Tony Perkins has this wonderful opportunity to meet with Donald Trump. Rather than trying to make Donald Trump look bad by being a jerk and writing out 2 Corinthians in words rather than doing that, why don't you try to win him over to the Lord? Okay, Tony Perkins is a Baptist. Why doesn't he use the soul-winning tactics that the Baptists have used for years in trying to convert people over? Rather than trying to destroy his support with evangelicals because you support Ted Cruz and everyone knows it. See, guys, that's part of I have to say, I like Tony Perkins. He's got a great show. Nice guy, all right? Wonderful person when I met him. But when you're going to be a jerk to people who are not saved, who are not Christians, that leads them away. Because if Trump hears this stuff from Tony Perkins and he sees, well, that was a jerk move, and he sees this behavior, this negative behavior that's coming from Christians towards him, you honestly think that there's even a chance of Donald Trump getting saved? I mean, how would Jesus handle that situation, for crying out loud? Jesus would try to reach his heart, not try to destroy him. And that's exactly what we're seeing happen here with a lot of my friends in the Christian talk radio industry. And to me, it's absolutely disgusting. But, you know, guys, that's exactly why we are losing the culture. That's the exact reason why we are losing everything. It's because we have Christians out there that don't know how to witness anymore, all right? I have, on a personal level, I have witnessed to people who have been drug dealers, who have tried to commit suicide multiple times, who have been engaged in homosexuality, who have been fornicators, and I've been able to reach some of them. And you know how I've been able to do it? It's not been by making them feel like garbage, all right? The way that I've done it is that I've reached out to them and tried to explain to them that no matter what they have in their life, they are never going to have complete happiness, complete joy, until they give their heart over to Jesus Christ and let Him take over. Because what does it say in the book of Psalms? It says that there's fullness of joy in the Lord. Well, guess what? Donald Trump has had a lot of struggles, all right? He's been through a lot. He might be, this great big billionaire, but when it comes to a personal level, look at what's happened. He has had 3 failed marriages. That's a man that needs help more than anyone else, that needs Christians reaching out to him and explaining to him how he can get his heart, how he can get his life right with Jesus Christ. Not Christians that are saying, oh, he's been married 3 times, he's gone to hell. I don't understand it sometimes, because you have two, it's almost like you have 2 types of Christians out there now. You have Christians that are so absolutely able to compromise their beliefs that it's almost like they have a Barney mentality. I love you, you love me. They believe you can sin as much as you want to, and you're still going to make heaven your home. And then you have these other type of Christians out there, where if you are not a Christian, they hate your guts. And they want you to just absolutely go away. It's almost like they're Amish, and they shun you if you do not live your life according to the Word of God. And see, the thing is that when you are seeking God, which I believe Trump is, because that's what it appears to be, that's what it looks like to me anyway. When you are seeking God, then you are supposed to reach out to those people. When there's hope for someone, you reach out to them, you try to win them over to the Lord, you tell them about the love of Jesus Christ, how Christ has transformed your life, how Christ has helped you in your life. You don't bash them and try to scare them away from that faith. All right? Because let me tell you something, if Christians were more like Jesus, we would have a lot more people saved in the United States. Because Jesus, while He hated sin, despised sin, He loved the people who did it. Did He hate their ways? Absolutely, because their ways destroyed them. But He still loves everybody. Okay? That's what we saw when Jesus was here on earth. That's the way that He feels today. And guys, I tell you, when we get to a point where we start pushing people away from Christianity, it's really going to be the downfall of it. You have to reach out to people. You have to be soul winners for the Lord. That's why the Bible says that we are to go forth and spread the gospel throughout the world, that Jesus Christ is Lord. He wants us to be witnesses, not try to destroy people's lives. That's what the devil does. So like I said, if you are a Christian evangelical out there, and you have the opportunity to talk to Donald Trump, to meet Donald Trump, or to meet someone like Donald Trump that does not know the Lord but is searching for the Lord, don't use that as an opportunity to make them feel like dirt. Use it as an opportunity to tell them about the joy that is found in the Lord and win them over to Christ. Allow God to work through you. Don't try to destroy their lives even further. Because when Jesus Christ is the only one who can fix people's problems, who can fix people's lives, repair people's lives, heal people, and you chase Him away from the only antidote to the destruction that has taken place throughout the years that they've been on this earth, the difficulties that they've had, how in the world are they going to find it when you have scared them away from it? And guys, that's one of the things that divides me from a lot of Christians that are out there. And I can't say like all Christians, because, well, for example, right? Calvary Chapel. We broadcast on the Calvary Chapel radio station. They're in the Myrtle Beach area. Wonderful group of people. They reach out to people, and they express the love of Jesus Christ and tell them about the wonderful life of Christ. And they present the love of Jesus Christ while also rejecting sin.
Caiden Cowger. Keeping America straight. Somebody had to say it.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Paraswabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Paraswabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that was developed by Dr. Martin Ginniger that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Paraswabs risk-free, call 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-678-4817. That's 1-800-678-4817.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-824-9762. Again, 800-824-9762. That's 800-824-9762. 800-824-9762.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
Call 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597.
Have you ever had this brilliant idea for an invention? I mean, you think that if this idea, if this invention actually gets out in production and is able to be marketed and everything, this will make you millions and millions of dollars. So people have ideas like this all the time. But the problem that they run into is actually getting it out in production and getting it in the stores. Well, let me tell you about my friends at InventHelp. InventHelp has been helping inventors for over 30 years. And what they do is they package inventors' ideas. They provide a patent referral, and then they submit the idea to companies that want to receive new ideas. And some of their clients have included Lowe's, Toys R Us, Home Depot, Target, and Walmart, just to name a few. Their number is 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. That's 1-800-352-1597. 1597. InventHelp is a proud sponsor of the Caiden Cowger program. Do your teeth ever get stained from drinking a lot of coffee or tea? And then when that happens, you have to make an appointment, you have to go to the dentist, and then they scrape half your gum out along with the plaque. It's horrible. Well, let me tell you about our friends at Paraswabs. Paraswabs is the 5-minute solution to get teeth white without visiting the dentist. Teeth that are stained from coffee or tea will be 2 shades whiter with just one Paraswabs treatment. Paraswabs is clinically proven to whiten teeth as well as caps. They can be reached by calling 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. That is 1-800-678-4817. Have you ever been involved in an auto accident or had to get your car repaired and then got an expensive bill? For example, you're driving home on a shopping trip you didn't want to go on in the first place, and the next thing you know, traveling at just 65 miles per hour, a stupid deer jumps right out in front of you and whack, hits you right in the front of the car. Yeah, sorry, I had a flashback. Well, let me tell you about our sponsor, Maximum Car Care. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, American Auto Protection has announced a revolutionary low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the general public to save customers thousands of dollars on auto repairs. They can be reached at 1-800-824-9762. That is 1-800-824-9762. That's 1-800-824-9762. 9762.
Caiden Cowger. Somebody had to say it.
So on Thursday, Fox News is holding another Republican debate, and Megyn Kelly is going to be one of the moderators. Well, Donald Trump is considering having a town hall event and attending that rather than actually going to the Fox News debate. And as a result, Fox News is going to probably lose a lot of ratings, especially if CNN covers that rally, or MSNBC, which probably CNN would be more likely to cover that event. But, you know, guys, it's really just pathetic that Megyn Kelly is going to remain as one of the moderators when she is obviously against Donald Trump, when she hates Trump. It really is pathetic because the lady really is just not that good. She did a horrible job last time. And thousands upon thousands, I think it was over 40,000 people or something like that, signed a petition not to allow her back as a GOP moderator, or as a moderator for the GOP debate. But apparently Fox News is just ignoring the will of their audience and is doing their own thing. Oh, by the way, did you know that we're all Nazis if you support Donald Trump out there? Yeah, that's exactly right. According to the nut job Glenn Beck that we were talking about earlier, apparently if you support Donald Trump, you're a Nazi. Go ahead and listen to this. This is from the Glenn Beck radio show that took place last week. Play it.
Okay, let's see. I want to go over something else that Rush Limbaugh said that, Stu, do you have that quote? Yeah. Give this quote. And I want you to listen carefully to what he's saying, because I hope he's wrong on this, because this is the biggest warning about the end of the republic I think I've ever heard coming from Rush Limbaugh. Listen to this.
Yeah, he says the Republican Party does not know who their conservative voters are. They've overestimated their conservatism. They're not liberals. They're not Democrat. Many of them do not want to be thought of as conservatives for a host of reasons. So somebody who comes along and is able to convey that he or she understands why they're angry, and furthermore is going to do everything to fix it, is going to own them.
Holy cow.
What's happening here is, listen to this. What's happening here is that nationalism, dirty word, people hate it, and populism, even dirtier word, nationalism and populism have overtaken conservatism in terms of appeal.
This means, wow, anyone who will wrap themselves in the flag, not on their principles, anyone who will say, I'm just like you and I'll fix it, will overtake the principles. Now, I don't know if he's saying this in a good way or a bad way, but this is a very bad thing.
He's just explaining the Trump phenomenon, because that's it.
But that's very bad.
That's it to a T, but that's why you should be freaking out.
That's why you should be freaking out. Yeah, you should really look. We have nothing against Donald Trump as a man. We don't.
Yeah, right.
It's just this is a very dangerous combination. And I have been warning against it since Fox. I said, keep your eyes open because it will come. The pendulum will swing the other way, and it will be bad. The only thing that you have to add to that, he's talking about populism and nationalism. If you add socialism, populism, nationalism, and socialism, you have the makings of Adolf Hitler.
Yeah. So that was Beck, Glenn Beck, on his radio show last week. Now let me tell you something, okay? Glenn Beck recently just said that he would support Bernie Sanders over Donald Trump. Bernie Sanders is a socialist like Adolf Hitler, okay? Donald Trump might be a populist. He's promoting conservatism. He has made conservatism popular, okay? People are completely rejecting liberalism. So, conservatism is becoming populism. That's what you have to understand, all right? Beck's not smart enough to put those two together in what Rush Limbaugh was actually saying. Guys, I want to thank you for listening to us tonight. For more information on the Caiden Cowger program, go to CaidenCowgerProgram.com. And for the latest news exposing the left, go to CowgerNation.com. Thank you, God bless, and God save this nation.